Good morning. Welcome to the Alpine Church of Spiritual Living. I'm going to be reading the thought for the week, and then you guys can join me as I get down to the bottom in the bolded area. The indwelling divine presence that lives through and as all can most readily be identified as unconditional love. That's the theme for this month, and what a glorious concept and way of being. Unconditional love accepts self and others as we and they are and demands nothing in return. As we release judgment, expectations, and conditions, we let and allow the underpinning substance of the divine to flow with ease and grace through all of our encounters and actions. Releasing the need to be right, the need to control, the need to judge, the need to be superior, we find there is a thread of commonality between ourselves and others. This includes not only people, but animals, plants, rocks, and all creation. Letting and allowing the reality of life to unfold in divine timing places us in harmony with all that is. As I am reading Dr. David Hawkins' book, Letting Go, The Pathway to Surrender, I recognize the value of allowing our feelings to bubble up as they come forth and truly give them space to be felt. No matter how emotional or negative these feelings might be, if we simply recognize and give them space, they will then be able to be released and move out from our experience. The more we do this, the higher we move up to the living in love, peace, and harmony. We live in the sense that all is well, no matter the appearance, just as the Master Jesus taught, judge with right judgment. This week, let and allow your feelings to emerge so that they can be released. Honor the innocent child within you and within others. As this practice becomes habitual, be grateful for the peace, joy, and love you experience. Say with me, I feel my feelings, letting them arise to be experienced and released. By doing this, I raise my consciousness to higher levels so that I live in harmony with one and all. I am so grateful, and it is so. So first of all, I want to say Happy Valentine's Day. It's coming up tomorrow, everyone. I see other people are in red besides me. And I know some people have already done some celebration. Some folks went over to see Elvis, I think, last night at the casino. How was he? He was just amazing, huh? Okay. He's been reincarnated in this person. Wonderful. Well, we took our granddaughter over to see the alpacas at the alpaca ranch, and she had a beautiful time there. That was a lot of fun. So I just offer you whatever you've done or whatever you're going to do to celebrate this Valentine's day of love and recognition, to do it with joy and to do it with love and to do it recognizing that whether I have a significant love in my life or not, know that the first love in my life is right within me. That love of the God, the love of the energy, the love of the divine. Our indwelling divine presence is what our topic is, our theme is this month rather, and today's message is living in harmony. And you know, it's interesting because there's nothing we have to do to qualify to have this divine love embrace us, fill us, live through us. There's nothing that we have to check off the to-do list other than turning our attention to it, other than recognizing it, other than loving it, which means ourselves first and foremost. I looked up in the glossary of the Science of Mind textbook what Ernest Holmes talked about the definition of harmony. He said, harmony, concord or agreement in facts, opinions, manners, interests, etc. The secret of all progress is getting into a right relationship with the universal. I'll say that again. The secret of all progress is getting into a right relationship with the universal. In tune with the infinite. In tune with infinite order is harmony. Contacting infinite intelligence, recognizing the Father within, accepting the underlying laws of creation, and moving in its mighty rhythm is harmony. Such harmony adjusts our affairs and enriches our lives. Moving in its rhythm, its mighty rhythm. Moving in its mighty rhythm. It reminds me, I don't know, I'm probably not the only one who's watching the Olympics, but they've had I love the dance, the ice skaters and the dancing, the ice dancers have been on. And you talk about someone that's in rhythm, that is in harmony, this pair, these couples that skate on this ice, and what they have to go through to make it look so effortless. And you can imagine the hours and hours and hours of practice that they have done to look like it's just an ease and grace. How many of us take hours and hours and hours of practice to being guided, to being led, to be dancing with the divine within us? It shows in our life. For whatever we have within us is going to come out into our experience. As I wrote in the thought for the week, that it takes more than just practicing love, practicing the divine. It takes letting go of those underlying judgments, of those underlying criticisms, of the underlying control that we have built up as habits in our lives. I'm sure I'm not the only one that has that egoic self that wants to drive us. And so it's so important to remember that I have got to let it go. I can't expect others to be what I am. I wouldn't want that. I would want everyone to be their own perfect individual self. That's what we're talking about here, and we're talking about seeing with the eyes of love, of letting ourselves have permission to let go. There was yesterday at the Alpaca Ranch, I hadn't said anything to anyone about it, but there was a man there. I don't know his age. He was, I don't know, 20s, probably in his 20s, I'm supposing. And he must have had some sort of physical issues going on. I noticed that he had a hearing aid, and the way he spoke was a little strained. But what he was sharing, he was talking about his grandmother coming over. And I think that he probably had some maybe mental challenges or something, I'm not sure what. But I thought, how lovely that this man, he's unique, he's different, and he is being himself, and he was so loving. He knew all the names of the alpacas, every one of them. And so it's wonderful just to observe the differences that life is giving us, the variety, and that we can let go of any judgment, of any criticism, because someone's different. I've been reminded about our teachings of Louise Hay lately, and the fact that we need to remember to love ourselves first, because that's how we can let it out. And one of the strong messages that I want to leave you with this morning is to recognize our oneness, our unity in our diversity. Because there is this beautiful golden thread of divine energy that weaves us all together, that runs through everything. I have been reading David Hawkins, the Letting Go book, and it's very powerful. We're going to hopefully start introducing that to the rest of our congregation here soon, but there's a quote that I wanted to share with you. It is we ourselves who create stressful reactions as a consequence of what we are holding within ourselves. The suppressed feelings determine our belief systems and our perception of ourselves and others. These, in turn, literally create events and incidents in the world, as within, so without. This is a self-reinforcing system of illusions. This is what the enlightened sages mean when they say we are all living in an illusion. All that we experience are our own thoughts, feelings, and beliefs projected onto the world, actually causing what we see to happen. The state of lovingness is the most powerful of all survival tools. The state of lovingness is the most powerful of all surviving tools. It takes remembering that. It takes doing it. I read Roy Eugene Davis as one of my daily reads that I read, and one of them that spoke to me this last week was one sentence: cultivate soul contentment in all circumstances. Cultivate soul contentment in all circumstances. To feel the rhythm, to feel the harmony of life, and let it bring you through its flow, its ease, and its grace. I have to share that I'm very happy to say that I produced my first treasurer's report for the Anton people that it's not the conference, but it's the whole organization, Affiliated New Thought Network. And so I'm their treasurer now, and I got to do my first report, which I was beautifully coaxed and schooled by the outgoing treasurer so that I got that all in order. And I was talking to my daughter-in-law about it and telling her, yeah, because I've never really looked at financials all that deeply, personally. And I was telling her about, we're on an accrual basis, and I looked at the balance sheet, and I have to determine things. I have to point things out. We have prepaid conference monies, and we have to explain all of these different things. And Lindsay has her MBA in some sort of mathematical degree. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but she has an MBA. She is the financial manager of Marco's Pizzas, which are about 900 of them in the world. So she does math. That's what she does. Her whole life, her whole professional life is around this area of mathematics and balance sheets and profit and loss and da 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 da. And so I was telling her, it's kind of cool. It's really a new challenge for me. I'm kind of having fun with it. And she looks at me. She goes, "Well, look at you." She was all excited, smiling. Well, look at you. And so it's fun to recognize that there is this infinite being within us that wants to express, that wants to be challenged, that wants to do more. And I'll tell you, the main challenge I have at this moment, which I'm not going to be challenged with it long, I know we'll get over this little bump, is when I get an attachment, like the bookkeeper sends me the reports, is saving them so that I can find them later. Now, you'd think that would be easy to do, but I know that I'm going to work through this, and I'll get beyond that challenge. But to recognize that we are living in this life of love, and sometimes it will challenge us. It's not one for, they say that growing old isn't for sissies. This life isn't for sissies. This life is for us to bring forth this infinite power that is within us. And it does take practice. It takes time and effort and energy, just like those skaters. It takes a goal of what you want to achieve, and then allowing this power and presence to move through you in its way. And you might be surprised. I would never have thought in a million years I was going to be a treasurer of this organization. But we're talking about harmony this morning, and I'll let you know that for years and years and years, I have been in a choir. My first choir I was in the Methodist Church when I was 4 years old. It was down in San Diego, and I would walk from my house on Central Avenue to the Methodist Church, which was about 4 or 5 blocks, by myself when I was 4. You can tell how long ago that was, back in the day. But what I've learned about this is that through all of the different choral groups that I have been in, is that it's about harmony. It's about singing together, but having different parts share what they have to share to the whole. And that's, to me, what our life is about. Our lives are about being in harmony, being in the chorus of life, and letting everyone else sing and do their part, and recognizing that we are in unity with each other, that harmony produces unity. So I'm practicing soul contentment in every situation, trying to let that ego just pat it on the head and say thank you for sharing. And live in the moment. Live without expectations. Live without judgments. Live without distress. Wouldn't that be lovely? Living in the moment is really what it's about. We've been talking a lot in the group we just finished up, Living Buddha, Living Christ, and the mindfulness element of being at peace is so significant. To be mindful of exactly what we're doing at this moment in time and not thinking about the past or jumping ahead to the future. Remember, Ernest said, get in tune with the infinite. That's what it's about, is living in harmony, feeling the love that is right here among us, encouraging us, enticing us. I encourage all of you to let the love that you are come forth in your own perfect, unique way this day, every day of your life, and feel the joy, feel the release, feel the less stress and the burdensome issues of life just dissolve into the nothingness from which they came. Love, love, love. I love you all. Namaste.